Have you ever heard of a person so desperate to commit insurance fraud that they'd go to unthinkable lengths? In the heart of the United States, a 60-year-old man from Missouri embarked on a bizarre scheme to do just that. His plan? To stage a tractor accident that would result in the loss of both his legs. The Howell County Sheriff's Office, upon investigating the case, found several inconsistencies in the man's account of the incident. The wounds on his legs were suspiciously clean, as if they were surgically cut rather than mangled in a tractor accident. Even more bewildering, there was no trace of his severed limbs at the supposed accident scene. This puzzling case took the officers down a rabbit hole of deception and desperation, revealing a plot so strange it's almost unbelievable. But in the world of oddities, the unbelievable often turns out to be the truth. Now, if you think that's strange, wait until you hear what happened next. As the investigation deepened, things took an even more bizarre turn. In the heart of this peculiar tale, we find an unsuspecting character from Florida, now the prime suspect. It was discovered that he had a rather gruesome role in this odd story. He was the one who wielded the hatchet, severing the man's legs in an act that redefines the term odd job. The law enforcement officers, already perplexed by the case, found themselves facing a new wave of confusion. The victim's wounds were oddly clean, too clean for a supposed tractor accident. This, coupled with the glaring absence of the severed legs, raised a sea of red flags. It was as if a piece of the puzzle was missing, a piece that could turn this bizarre case into something that made a shred of sense. While the peculiarities piled up, the authorities found themselves in a bit of a legal conundrum. They were unable to stick the charge of insurance fraud on our hapless protagonist, despite the mounting evidence of his involvement in the scheme. However, they didn't rule out the possibility of pressing charges for filing a false police report, a crime that often slips through the cracks, but not this time. But the twists don't stop there, folks. Just when you thought this story couldn't get any odder, it does. Imagine the shock and horror of a relative stumbling upon the severed legs. Yes, you heard it right. The missing pieces of this jigsaw puzzle of deceit were found not at the scene of the alleged accident, but by a family member. These legs, ghastly remnants of a desperate scheme, were promptly turned over to investigators. Suddenly, a story of insurance fraud took a darker turn, morphing into something from a horror movie. This discovery not only corroborated the investigators' suspicions about the man's story, but also added a chilling twist to the tale. The implications of this gruesome find are profound. It not only deepens the mystery, but also raises a host of new questions. Who was this relative, and how did they come across the severed legs? What was their reaction, and how did this discovery affect the dynamics of the investigation? And so this tale of desperation and deceit leaves us with more questions than answers. So where does this leave us? In the wake of such bizarre and gruesome events, we're left with more questions than answers. The implications are chilling. A man so desperate he resorted to unthinkable measures. The ongoing investigation continues to unravel layers of deception, with the severed legs turning up as the latest shocking development. It's a stark reminder of the lengths people can go when driven by desperation and greed. In a world full of oddities, this surely is a story that stands out, reminding us of the strange and unpredictable nature of human beings.